world's changing. And you are right in the center of it.
I don't know what's ahead, but all bets are off.
Rashad, you're a great guy to go to on this one. You were in the building working the broadcast for ESPN. It was the main event of UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas, Apex, all that inside the bubble there. And we saw a fight that was elevated to the main event just weeks before when Glover Teixeira pulled out with COVID. And you had Michelle Waterson. You had yourself the women's strawweights, my favorite division, Angie Hill, the opponent, and they went 5 hard rounds. Rashad, this was great theater from two women who went after it. We weren't sure coming in. Is Waterson going in the other direction while Angie was rising, had sort of this late career resurgence in terms of looking like she could be a real contender? In the end, it was Waterson by a hair. From your perspective, did the judges get it right?
Yeah, they got it right. You know, it really came down to me the last 30 seconds. You know, that last 30 seconds when you heard Michelle do that war cry and she's throwing kias and eahs in every single punch. You know, that extra effort, it really made an impact if you were there, because it let you know who was the fresher fighter. And it just kind of made it seem like even the shots that she was catching her with was a little bit harder. And, you know, also the front kicks that she was able to land was something that landed big because it was so disruptive to the movement of Angela's progression that you just had to take note that, you know, it was a factor. So those were the things that scored big for Michelle. But it didn't start out that way. You know, Angela was giving her everything that, you know, she could take in the beginning, and Michelle's face was proving it. You know, just that forward pressure that she had. And, you know, Angela didn't really back off that pressure until Michelle started to dive underneath and get those takedowns. And once Michelle landed those takedowns and was able to be a factor on top, then Angela got a little bit more conservative about her forward progression. And that's when Michelle started to steamroll with those front kicks. But gutsy performance by both of these ladies.
Oh, full-on theater. Waterson, I thought she was going to get one of those Mark Hominick growths, you know, like it'd be great for a drug mule to kind of sneak some stuff through when you got a softball sticking out of your head. It didn't end up going in that direction, but I think that flurry at the end of round 5, when it seemed like the fight was up for grabs, whether you believe she was landing full or not, it sells it, and I think it sold it in the end. I had it 2-2 entering that 5th round, and I did think that flurry at the end is what sort of won me over. What's interesting is Waterson was the younger fighter by 1 year, but Rashad, to be honest, I had thought her idea of being a legit title contender was over when she went in there 2 fights ago against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, fought her heart out over 5 rounds, just couldn't get over that hill against a bigger, better fighter.
Yeah.
She suffered a tight loss after that by split decision. This was a big win she needed, and I kind of like her comments where she said, look, the division right now, it's always packed and loaded. But you got Tatiana Suarez hurt. You got Rose Namajunas hurt. You've got Mrs. Amanda Nunes going into labor soon for their family. So she's not going to, Nina Ansaroff not going to be part of that. There's always the idea of if a door opens and you're hot and you're coming off of something, and I mean hot, by the way, in terms of your progression up the ranks, although, you know, it might work that way too. But if you're hot, Rashad, sometimes you can slide in. So this was as strategic a big win as possible for Michelle, who I know you've trained with and are close with. But give me the flip side on Angie Hill. She just can't seem to win these close split decisions. What is she missing, Rashad?
You know, I think she hit it right on the head. You know, I think she's missing a grappling aspect of it. Not that she can't grapple, but she doesn't have the kind of game that you see Michelle has to be able to impose your grappling on somebody. And, you know, we've seen in the few fights that Michelle lost, you know, she lost one against Carla Esparza, then she lost another one against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And that fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she was really trying to implement this game that you've seen her pull off against Angela Hill, but it was to no avail that night. But you see the fruits of that labor paid off, because what she wasn't able to accomplish on Joanna, she was able to accomplish on Angela Hill. So that's what the same thing Angela needs to do. She needs to go in there and just start to just deconstruct the game and start to implement, you know, some grappling in some of these fights. And then before you know it, you have a complete game. And that's what she's really lacking.
Yeah, Waterson's grappling did seem to turn the tide a couple times. Hill's exact quote afterwards was, I've got to start taking bitches down and hugging them, which is a strategy that I used in college, not successfully, though, Rashad. Looking back, though, I wanted better for Angie Hill. I love the rebirth story. She got cut years ago, right? She was part of that original Ultimate Fighter house in 2014 when the division was created. She won the Invicta Championship. She lost a ton. She won 3 in a row, showed us that she's for real at 35. She was doing what I thought she needed to do to win over the judges. She was landing hard shots early and walking Waterson down. But like we said, flip of the coin, as close a fight as you can have. And Rashad, I've said it before, and I'll say it once more. I don't usually day drink, and I won't today, but I do drink the Kalo hemp-infused seltzer, and I'll pour a little bit out right now for the women of 115 in the UFC. Rashad, what is it about women in general, but 115-pound women, that just gets me so damn excited?
I don't know what makes them get you so excited, but I'll tell you what makes me get excited about them. I mean, they just got a ferocity that, you know, you don't really see from the other women's weight classes. You know, they just seem a little bit more cantankerous than the rest of them. And they go out there and lay it on the line. You know, they definitely have that, they have so much skill set too. You know what I'm saying? They're like the perfect blend. I like them too, man.
It's the perfect weight. I mean, the divisions are so shallow in UFC at 35, 45. 25 is a kind of a Sarlacc pit, if you will, with Shevchenko on the bottom. And this division is always fireworks. So shout out to all those women. I mean, look, it's when you look on the card, the first thing I look for are women's strawweights, okay? All right? It's just the way I'm wired, all right? You're going to have to deal with that, Rashad, okay? You know? when Joanna says Boogie Woman is coming, might not be the only one.
Are you in?
This is our time. The world's changed, and you are right in the center of it.
I don't know what's ahead, but all bets are off.